Have you ever wondered why we feel emotions such as happiness? Well, it all has to do with cell signaling in the brain.
The cell that you see here is called the neuron. At one end of the neuron is a part called the axon. Here, an electrical signal is sent down from the cell body and is converted into a chemical signal in the axon. Then it is further converted into a neurotransmitter, which is a chemical messenger. It waits in the synaptic terminal to be released. Once a neurotransmitter is released from the synaptic terminal, it embarks on a great adventure where it passively diffuses through the space between the axon of one neuron and the dendrites, or flagella-looking structures that are responsible for receiving cell signals of another neuron. This space is called the synapse. Once it reaches the dendrites of the other neuron, it finds the receptor protein and binds to it. Binding then changes the neurotransmitter back into an electrical signal. This causes a lot of changes in the neuron, specifically with the gated ion channels. The binding causes the gated ion channels to open, and this allows the ions on the inside and outside of the cell to diffuse in and out of the cell. So this causes a lot of electrical changes within the cell because the ions are constantly diffusing in and out. Once the neuron has had enough of the neurotransmitter signals, it sends a transport protein to come turn the signals off by transporting the neurotransmitter back towards the axon. Here, the neurotransmitter again is converted back into a chemical signal, and the whole process starts over. This entire process and journey of the neurotransmitter is called synaptic transmission. We feel happy when we do certain activities because of something called the reward system. In the reward system, the cerebral cortex, which is the outermost layer of the brain, is responsible for responding to stimuli from one of your five senses. These five senses are touch, taste, sight, smell, and hearing. The cerebral cortex is also responsible for decision making, so it makes the decision that the stimuli that it is experiencing is a positive one, and it actually sends signals that cause other parts of the pathway to produce neurotransmitters associated with happiness. An example of one of these neurotransmitters is dopamine. At the same time as the cerebral cortex is activating, the prefrontal cortex also activates. And what this does is it concentrates the person's attention onto this one activity, and it conditions the person to think, oh, I like this activity, it makes me feel happy, and it causes them to do it over and over and over again.
Some of these rewarding activities that I'm talking about include eating a really yummy food or snuggling with a fuzzy blanket. Our cerebral cortex perceives these actions as rewarding because they actually help us survive. Next time you feel happy, think about how that activity is actively helping you survive. I know, right? Mind blown.